Another food we do a tremendous amount of business with is samosas. Now, samosas, I'll say, is a very popular food. There, you see all kinds of different shapes and sizes and preparation styles and fillings and dough and all kinds of different things. We have many different solutions for samosas. This is one of them. We can use it with the 700 XL using the extrusion method. Now you can see it's all pretty much the same thing. You have the dough, you have the filling, and you're running it through the extrusion process. And again, all of our dies, mold dyed, is totally customizable. So we have a standard list of molds that we make. If you want to, change it up a little bit, no problem. If you even want to make a totally different shape that we've never done before, no problem. So you can see the machine right now is running at about 30 to 40% capacity, and it's just going to continually output the samosas. A samosa is essentially an Indian encrusted food. It typically has mashed potatoes and peas and sometimes carrot, but we've seen all kinds of different fillings, all kinds of creative solutions. You see it a lot, starting in India, but going all the way through the Middle East. So there's people that really make samosas. It's a great sort of appetizer. You see people eat it for lunch. We have a ton of people that do even catering businesses, that just make it for weddings and parties and things like that. It's a very versatile, easy food. From here, when we produce the samosas, we're doing thousands per hour, so it's really going to depend on the size of your food, but you're going to have a very high capacity, high throughput. And from here, where do we go from here? We can go directly into a packaging type of line, so you can just go in straight packaging. You can put it straight into a freezer, but we also have a conveyor fryer, so we can put it straight into the oil and fry it, and then go from there. So there's a lot of versatility into how do you want to move from here. So what are some different modifications you can do with samosa? Again, you can modify the filling. You can put whatever you want into the filling hopper. You modify the dough a little bit. You can add a different amount of moisture and oil and things like that. We can do different modifications to get a different taste. If you actually kind of look at our die and the product that you're going to get for samosa, this is just one of our molds, right? So it's going to give you the shape, and we can customize based on the length, the width, and also the edge. So this one, you can see it's a little bit of a rippled edge. So we have 3 different standard edges that we just do naturally, and again, we can make a custom edge. So you got your length, you got your width. And then you can also sort of modify it for the thickness as well. And that's one of the things that you can sort of customize in the operation of the machine. By adding more stuffing, you can speed up that motor. So for our customer experience, we work with a lot of people that are starting a business,
And people that are very often artistic people that have gotten to where they are, keeping a certain fidelity to their recipe that maybe they have in their family, or that's been very successful for them locally. And what our machines represent for them is an investment in their business that will take it to the next level. What we try to do is to give them the tools to be able to give them a business plan, to be able to let them focus on what they do well, which is their customer experience, their recipe, and to give them the ability to possibly we finance a machine, to give them a recipe to go to the next level. It's the kind of market that we're seeing right now. We have examples of clients that they started with the restaurant, and once they decided to go automatic with the machine, they were able to grow their business 10 and 20 times over. And that's just, the machine allows you to sort of focus on what you do well and what you love is your food, and not really have to worry about the growth. Very often our machines will give you what you can almost think of as unlimited throughput. You can make hundreds of thousands, millions of pieces of your food in the course of a month. And if you can sell all of those, then you're really able to grow, take your business to the next level, and at the same time you're still focusing on your recipe and all the same things that kind of got you started in the business in the first place. Our customers, first of all, I think, our customers, we have people that have unbelievable recipes, and they really just love what they do. And very often to prepare a great recipe, a great dish, is not the same skill set as growing a business, okay? And part of what we do is we don't just sell machines. I mean, we're one of the few people here in the United States, in Los Angeles. We have our operations center here, and we help people, we support them from an engineering side and even from a business side, so that the customer can really focus on what they do well and what they love. And we can advise them, and we can help them take it to a regional or even local distribution.
So now we're going to make some samosas by hand, and this is my classic recipe. I've been doing samosa for years. A very good friend of mine, chef, is actually from India, who taught me how to do samosas originally, and then over the years I've added my own personal ingredients and stuff like that. Now, we're going to get started with a little bit of oil here. Today we're working with Solio family canola oil, because it's going to go that good with it. Next, what we're going to do at the same time, we're going to take some fresh ginger with Spice World. I'm going to put that right in there. Watch your face, it doesn't pop out. Now we're going to add the potatoes right in. Now we want the ginger to coat the potatoes, get them nice and golden brown a little bit, so we're just going to let that do its thing in there, hardcore, on high, because the potatoes are going to be the basis for our samosa. Really, when you make samosa filling, potatoes are predominantly, more utilized ingredient than anything you put in there, basically. Carrots are second. Peas are probably third. I don't have any peas, so today I'm using some spinach. I'm using some broccoli as well. And the company that I'm using this for is Mother Earth's Products, and this is dehydrated onions. They make everything dehydrated, dried, really good quality products, nothing added, no additives, GMOs, none of that stuff. And that's going to go in with this perfectly. I'm going to move that around. And the whole goal of this is to really get those potatoes to a point where they're soft and the rest of the flavors sort of marry in. So we're going to start throwing in everything all at once here. We're starting with our carrots. And we have some onions that are hydrated. and onions that are not hydrated, that are dry. And there is a difference and a reason why I'm putting the two in both. We have some dried spinach, and we had some dried broccoli. Now, why am I using a lot of dried products? It is a filling. It's going inside of this wrap, so I don't want it too liquidy, and I want to be able to control the liquid. In a little while here, I'll add a little bit of water just to kind of bring it up to where it needs to be. Going to add the spices. We have turmeric, cumin, coriander, chorizo. And that, my friends, is what you need to make incredible samosas. Let's put this in the sink. Now, you talk about, even places in New York City, around 23rd Street, where you'll see a lot of the influence Indian cuisine there, which is definitely a staple and a hangout of mine. When you think of the whole entire Indian cuisine, it's very hot and it's spicy, but it's flavorful too. I think that America has gotten onto the kick where things need to be so hot you can't taste any of the ingredients. I think that it's an art, especially with this kind of culture, that has perfected the art of basically having something so hot and so spicy, but yet enjoying the flavors that go with it. They've also married well something that's hot and refreshing at the same time. So you can have something that's very hot and your mouth is on fire, but yet you have naan bread, which sort of mellows everything out as well. There's also the kulak cream, which is another table condiment that you'll see on the tables there as well, which goes on the bread. So everything sort of masks and marries well with ingredients. And that holds true for cooking in general. You can see that wow, really good as well. If you look in there, you can start to see the colors of the flavors really take on what we're trying to achieve here. You talk about samosas and naan bread and stuff like that. If you've ever gone to a real classic Indian type of restaurant, you'll see a hearth clay oven, the circular oven. And what they'll do is they'll put the naan bread on almost like these little tambourine things, and they put the dough on and then they slap it on the side of the coal. Because the coal is like 1,000 degrees, it sticks on the coal and then forms itself a bread, and then with sticks, spears, they sort of just take it off and cook it, and you get that wonderful light tasting naan bread. Now, this is ready to get some liquid in there, and we're going to go a little at a time, just so it has a chance to really steam this baby and cook these potatoes where we need them to go. As you can see, this is starting to get pasty, sticky, and we're going to be ready to go very shortly with our samosa filling and our samosas. Now we're going to fry the samosas in a little bit of oil here. This is canola oil, and it's actually the best for frying samosas. And we're just going to add our oil. We're going to leave it off to the side, and then once we start to fry these, we'll put them in the hot oil. Just get cleaned up here a bit. Now there is a way and a technique of folding these. I'll show you that in a minute. All right. This is perfect. All right, now we're ready to go. So I just want to basically take this. I don't want that hot of mixture going into the wrap itself, but I do want to show you the incredible color and the texture that we're going to be using here. And look at that. That's beautiful. We're going to let that cool just for a second there. I mean, it really doesn't need a long time. We got our hot oil there. We don't have to worry about that. But what we're going to first do, is form a samosa wrap. And how that's done basically is folding both edges like this, and then with your hand take a little bit of egg whites. Today we're using Eggland's Best egg whites. you can see here. Remember, if it doesn't have the EB symbol, it's not Eggland's Best. And we're going to turn this over like that. We're going to seam that shut. Pinch that as well. Now you have a little bit of a cone, right? We're going to fold this other part, but not yet. So we're going to take some of this filling with your finger, just dab it in. And we're going to take some of your egg white mixture as well on the other side. And we're just going to fold this and lock it. What I like to do is try to stand these samosas up. Put them right in the hot oil. I do that because when I serve them to a guest, I like for them to stand up on a plate. So let's go through this again here. Twist it over, close the seam shut. Put your finger in there to make a little pocket. Add your filling. Again, these are very small samosas, but I mean, there's big ones you can use. And then what you're going to do is have to close this baby up, right? So you're going to take some more egg whites, close it up, sit it up. Go right down into the fire. All right, let's do one more. So we're going to fold it just like you're making an airplane. Take some egg whites on both sides, close the seam shut. I feel like this is a nursery rhyme. Fold it like an airplane, close it shut. Take some of your mix. Make sure to really push it all the way down there, otherwise it's not a samosa. And a little egg white mixture here. We turn these babies over when they burn. Close it up. Sit it up. There you go. Go right in. Now, dipping sauce for this really can vary. However, I think the best would be like an aioli mayo or something like that. Something nice and cold that can cut through some of the spiciness that we have here, for sure. But, you know, you can do other dipping sauces if you like. If you go to a more traditional Indian-style restaurant, you're going to see that there's usually 3 or 4 little condiments of sauces on there. They actually marry well. One's usually sweet, savory, and hot. All right, ready to take this off. We have our plate, a beautifully decorated plate. Take our samosas. Take a little bit of fresh ginger, and we're going to put it right on the center. Now, you could also take a little bit of poppy seeds and just sprinkle them on the plate as like a garnish. And then you have it, my friend. This is the samosa by hand. You've seen it by the machine, and that's going to about do it for Taste This TV. And I'm going to actually take us out talking about a little bit of this incredible cream Savrano limoncello. This is their cream flavored. If you didn't think it could get any better, now you have that traditional creamy taste in the limoncello, which is just fabulous. Yeah, we have a good time here on Taste This TV. Woo! There you go. Samosas and cream limoncello here on Taste This. Thank you for watching this fun-filled episode of Taste This TV. I'm your host, Chef Joe Ciminero. Remember, there are no rules in cooking. Taste this.